Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at something I think many of us feel, a kind of paradox about modern life, really. It's about success. Think about it, you, the listener. You're efficient, right? You manage your time, you're polite, always, hit your targets, meet deadlines. By all external signs, you're highly functional, successful, maybe even, a perfectly tuned machine. But is this actually a triumph? Is this functionality resilience? Or is it hiding something, something much more costly?
It's the price of admission to civilization. And frankly, it's an erasure. You haven't just adapted, you've been perfected, calibrated, you might say. We really need to put aside this comfortable idea of success for a moment. Because the hard truth is, your efficiency, your smooth functioning, it's not proof you've mastered the world, it's proof culture has mastered you, your raw, inconvenient self.
Wow. Okay, that's a strong start. Usually when we talk about well-being, it's all about achieving adaptation, isn't it? Emotional intelligence, managing stress, maturity. But our mission today, it feels different. We're digging into the psychological cost, the hidden price tag of this adaptation. We're using an analytical lens, really looking at those internal forces, the stuff we don't often talk about that shape us, suppress us, and maybe even replace what we truly desire.
Yes, and we have to start with the fundamental premise. Life, internally, it's not harmony, not at all. It's a silent war. A biological war running constantly. On one side, you've got the raw energy, the id, pure, unedited drive for instant gratification. Sex, aggression, pleasure, just taking what you want now. And on the other side, that cold, quiet voice. Culture, internalized, the superego. It holds every rule, every should, every parental no you ever absorbed, and it just whispers constantly, not that, not now, you shouldn't want that, that's wrong, embarrassing.
Okay, I get the external pressures. Performance reviews, laws, social judgment, sure. But today, how is control maintained when there aren't obvious chains? We feel like we have choices, don't we? I mean, theoretically, I could just walk away from it all.
You could, theoretically, but you're underestimating the force that stops you, often before you even seriously consider it. See, the genius of civilization lies in this systematic domestication, taming human wildness through repression, through sacrifice. And the control mechanism today, it's brilliant because the whip isn't external anymore, you've internalized it. Masterfully. Authority moves from the outside, the parent, the boss, right into the core of your own mind.
You become your own jailer.
Precisely. Exactly. The punishment isn't a public shaming or a fine, not usually. It's self-inflicted. That crippling guilt, that gnawing shame. Just listen to that inner critic, that voice monitoring you. You should be grateful for this. Stop being selfish. Don't make a scene. Just push through. These aren't really external pressures anymore. They're your mental software. Ensuring compliance. Always. You follow the rules not because someone forces you physically, but because compliance is the only way you've learned to get self-approval, to get even a moment's peace from that inner critic.
Right. So functioning well means successfully managing this internal war. Let's unpack those core drives then. The ones fueling the id, the ones culture is constantly battling. You talk about two fundamental forces we're born with, eros and thanatos. These aren't just poetic ideas, are they? They're deep, biological.
Oh, absolutely. They're the non-negotiable forces of life itself, playing out right in your nervous system. Eros, that's the life drive, the fundamental push towards connection, creation, merging, pleasure, building things, keeping life going. It's that primal urge to connect, to lose boundaries.
Okay, eros seems maybe easier to channel. Into family, community, creative work, that kind of thing. But thanatos, the death drive, that sounds pretty bleak, almost nihilistic.
It is the darker side. Thanatos is the counterforce, the push towards aggression, destruction, entropy, that fundamental pull towards stillness, towards the inorganic. It's the urge to break things, to dominate, or sometimes just to check out, to disconnect. Think about the simple urge to just burn a bridge or shatter a relationship you know is holding you back, even if it causes pain. Or sometimes it's just the quiet comfort you feel when you finally stop striving and let things fall apart. It's not just road rage. It can be that quiet fantasy of total quiet oblivion.
Yeah, okay. And that's precisely what a stable society can't tolerate, right? Chaos, destruction.
Yeah.
So if culture can't just eliminate these powerful drives, eros and thanatos, because they're just part of us biologically, it must have a way to neutralize them. How does it channel them so, effectively?
It becomes an alchemist, a cultural alchemist. It redirects them. It sublimates them. Sublimation, that's the key maneuver, taking an unacceptable raw impulse and converting it into something socially useful, maybe even something we praise. This redirection, this alchemy, it's the core process that turns a potentially volatile human into a functional asset.
Okay, so sublimation, for example, If I take my innate aggression Thanatos and I channel it into becoming, say, a really driven lawyer or a top salesperson, culture loves that.
Loves it. It demands it. Your raw desire to fight, to dominate, gets reframed. It's called ambition now,
Right.
or a competitive edge. The aggressive drive finds its outlet not in, physical conflict, but in winning the deal. Corporate conquest, your need
Yeah.
to tear things down, that gets repackaged too. It's disruptive innovation.
Oh,
say.
right. And Eros, the life drive, that intense longing for connection, for messy, boundary-blurring merging.
Well, your raw lust, your urgent arrows, that desire to just lose yourself completely in someone else, that gets redirected too. It becomes a relentless passion for your career.
Right.
Or diligent, careful networking, transactional connection. Even the death wish, that deep pull towards stillness, towards quiet, it gets commodified. It becomes the obsessive drive to optimize your sleep score, biohacking. Or maybe the desire for maximum passive income, wanting to destroy the need to strive.
Wow, the cost here feels staggering. If my desires are constantly being rerouted, chemically altered almost, into professional goals or metrics, I lose touch, don't I, with what the raw, unedited me actually wants. I only know what the system rewards. What looks good is a substitute.
You've lost the map to your own inconvenient truths. You don't know what would genuinely give you pleasure, only what looks good on LinkedIn or what the therapist suggests might be healthy. When you've successfully trained yourself to prefer high performance over authentic feeling, over actual pleasure, that's it. You've achieved perfect calibration.
Which brings us right to the modern symptoms, the signs of this calibration. We look around and we see it everywhere, I think. People chasing metrics, not meaning. Valuing checking the box over actually enjoying the experience. These behaviors look functional, they tick all the boxes, but they feel hollow. Why is that?
Because these behaviors, these modern habits, they are masterpieces of cultural engineering, designed specifically to contain those primal drives, keep them within safe, acceptable, even marketable boundaries. They are proof that repression hasn't just worked, it's worked almost too well.
Okay, let's break down a few of these sanitizing processes. Aggression first. Thanatos, it's powerful. How do we see it cleaned up, especially at work?
We don't get angry, do we? We give feedback. Raw aggression is terrifying to the system. It's unpredictable, non-compliant. So it gets filed down, polished, folded into corporate speak. Constructive criticism, accountability frameworks. Let's have a candid conversation. Think about it. Someone sends you an email that makes you furious. Truly furious. Do you scream? Do you confront them directly? Probably not. No, you spend 20 minutes crafting this carefully worded passive-aggressive Slack message, making sure your rage is there, but disguised. Perfectly masked as professionalism. Your need to attack isn't gone, it's just imprisoned in a digital cage. The system makes sure you fight cleanly, professionally, without any risk of genuine, messy, chaotic conflict.
And Eros, the life drive. That impulse to merge, lose boundaries. That's the definition of inefficient, isn't it?
Yeah.
Messy.
Exactly. Eros is pure chaos to the system. So we domesticate it, we optimize it, we don't just crave raw connection, raw sex, we schedule intimacy, we approach our partners like organizational problems to be solved. We track our libido, we communicate needs like project managers delivering status reports. The messy impulse to connect gets replaced by a kind of needs-based contract.
And we even outsource the very beginning of desire, don't we? With apps and things.
Oh, absolutely. Desire gets outsourced to algorithms, Tinder, Hinge, whatever. They offer the illusion of connection, but without the real risk, the vulnerability, the actual mystery of human entanglement, we end up wanting a highly functional partner, not necessarily a messy, consuming passion.
Okay, what about our inner world? Fantasy life. You called it the royal road to the unconscious. If fantasy has no measurable outcome, no KPI, no ROI, it must be a prime target for censorship.
Oh, it's replaced almost entirely by goals. You don't dream, you plan. Fantasy is dangerous precisely because it doesn't serve the machine. It offers no clear results. So instead of letting yourself fantasize about, say, running away to a desert island, you create a meticulous 5-year financial plan for early retirement. Your imagination gets swapped out for an itinerary. Your deepest, strangest, most inconvenient fantasies. They get censored because they represent desire without any obvious function.
That just leaves morality. You mentioned earlier how authentic guilt gets replaced by compliance. How does that play out now?
Well, authentic morality from this analytical view might make you ask, did I actually hurt someone? Did I cause real harm? The behavioral compliance. That just asks, did I break a rule? Did I violate an HR policy? Did I step outside the accepted norms? We see this everywhere, particularly in online social dynamics maybe. People engaging in public shaming either of themselves or others for violating the rules of the collective superego. You don't feel bad because you cause pain. You feel bad because you broke the unspoken contract, the one that promises safety if you just follow the rules. It's internalized authority, completely replacing genuine conscience, and the result. The cumulative effect of all this constant repression. It's that deep chronic exhaustion we all feel, not just from work stress. It's because the body, the primal self, is screaming for some kind of release, some chaos, and the mind has just settled for this polished, draining performance, day in, day out.
It's important to say, though, isn't it, that even though this sounds quite bleak, this adaptation, this calibration, it does give us something important: safety. It protects us from shame, rejection, from the terrifying messiness of just letting our desires run wild. The superego basically promises, follow the rules, play the game, and you'll be safe. You'll be accepted, maybe even loved.
That promise is the engine. It's the core of our complicity. We actively trade that wildness for the predictable comfort of safety. We choose it, in a way.
But doesn't that challenge the idea that we're not free? People do try to rebel, don't they? They quit the big job, move to Bali, get really into self-care. They try to break out. If we chose this functional life, even so consciously, doesn't that mean we're still fundamentally free? When I take a mental health day or leave a job I hate, it feels like rebellion, like I'm taking back control.
Ah, yes. But here's perhaps the most unsettling twist in this whole analytical perspective. Civilization doesn't just happen to you. It doesn't just impose itself. It emerges from our collective repression. We co-authored the whole system, every rule, every corporate policy, every social norm. It's like this giant monument built from millions and millions of individual whispers saying, I'll do anything. Just make the chaos stop, make the uncertainty go away.
So,
And my desperate urge to quit my job and find my authentic self, the real me buried under all the performance, that itself might just be another script, another program, maybe even designed to make me a more sophisticated kind of prisoner. That is the ultimate calibration, isn't it? The system learns. It absorbs your rebellion. It aestheticizes your pain. It turns your emotional breakdown into a breakthrough narrative, and then it sells you the workshop on how to have your own. The very idea of the authentic self waiting to be discovered often is just another performance, this time for a different audience, maybe wellness gurus, maybe Instagram. The self isn't found, it's constructed meticulously from trauma, from memory, from all those internalized commands of the superego. We didn't lose our souls, we archived them, put them away safely to survive the demands of the group.
that leaves us with a really, a chilling thought. You're not a human hijacked by a machine. You're potentially a machine that deeply believes it's human. And your success, your functionality, it's just the system measuring its own success and shaping you, kind of tragic collaboration.
Indeed, it is. But recognizing this, truly seeing it, that opens up the only real path forward. And let me be clear, this isn't self-help. It's more like forensic investigation of yourself. True rebellion isn't quitting the job, necessarily, or shouting online. True rebellion is much quieter. It's simply noticing.
Noticing what? Specifically, where do we look?
Noticing the precise moment you swallow your anger because it feels unprofessional. Noticing how rigidly you structure your free time so that nothing unexpected, nothing chaotic can creep in. Noticing when you schedule intimacy because just letting desire happen feels too out of control. These aren't just personal quirks or flaws. They are the footprints, legible traces of the civilization that built you and that needs you to stay operational, functional, predictable.
So awareness. Awareness is the first act of rebellion.
Yeah.
Because the machine, the system, it doesn't have a category for truth, does it? Only for function.
Precisely. And so the question we leave you with as you go back into your functional life is this. What part of you, the messy, inconvenient, maybe even glorious animal, is actually still alive under all that calibration? And are you brave enough just to listen to it, to let it speak, even if it screams something you can't schedule or optimize or put on your performance review?